moving on to TikTok. So how important is TikTok?
I think it hit like 1 or 2 million views.
So that one video that went viral, why? Like, what happened there? Might seem like a random pivot, but I know the first time I ever heard an interview with you with Jesse earlier this year, TikTok was a big focus of what you guys talked about. And I know you're on TikTok and you're kind of a big deal on TikTok. How many followers do you have now?
So far, 70,000 followers on TikTok.
What role does that play in your business? Like, is that a really important thing, or is it kind of just like for fun? Or like if TikTok deleted your account tomorrow, like is your business totally screwed, or is it not really a big deal?
If it got deleted, which can totally happen, and they do delete accounts all the time.
It happened to me, actually.
Really?
I think it was 2 videos total. And one of the videos, it was a chunk of another video I made where I said the words shooting from the hip. And in that, when I said that, there was B-roll of a gun firing. And I don't know for sure that that's the reason, but I was trying to understand, why would they delete anything? Like, what have we said that's so bad? And it says in their terms, like, you can't talk about firearms at all. And so I'm guessing that's why they did it. But it was like,
promote violence,
I'm just glad that happened. I know. I'm a pretty nasty guy. But I'm glad it happened when we were nothing, and we're still nothing. But I'm glad it happened then instead of where you're at, Peter. I mean, that would just really be horrible.
Right.
Put all that work into something and they just take it off. But
that's true.
But I'm sorry. So how important is TikTok?
So the last 2 years, it has been very, very important for us because the thing is, we were early on there. So there was like 2 other people who were on there. I was very early on that platform. We did find a ton of buyers which is crazy. It's just their algorithm. When it works, it really works. And the thing is, that was after hundreds of videos, right? Like a lot of them fell flat on their face, but there were some which absolutely just crushed it. There was one day, I think this happened 2 times since I've been making videos. The video went like really viral. I think it hit like 1 or 2 million views within 1 to 2 days or something like that. It actually crashed our website and we had to call Shopify and figure it out. But it is a very, very powerful platform. And if it got deleted, currently our business wouldn't be that affected by it. It would be hard, but I haven't also been making a ton of videos on there because recently our focus has really shifted to wholesale. So it's definitely worth giving it a shot. And if you have a little bit of interest and time, you can find buyers for your properties or even sellers, and it's free.
And what is your handle again? Is it The Land Investor?
Yep, exactly. On TikTok.
I'll be sure to link up to that and anything else of Peter's that we talk about in this episode. Again, REtipster.com/150 for the show notes. So that one video that went viral, why? Like, what happened there?
So it was pretty crazy. So what I did was the video was going viral, and I boosted that same video.
And what does that mean? Like you paid for an ad or something?
It started going viral, and then I immediately launched they call it boost or whatever, which is basically just like a push. That video just went even more viral, I guess. And the website had too many visitors. So I think we hit like 20,000 visitors in 24 hours.
You're talking about the link in your TikTok profile to your website. So like that many people, not just watch your video, but actually click through at the same time.
Yep. And so our retail website also does have like online checkout. It was so crazy. I would just be sitting there every hour. We would see one new person just put down their down payment and signed up for a piece of property. So it was crazy. It was like probably from that, we probably sold like 30 or 40 properties within 2 days.
Man, so like, what did you say? Like, did you say in the video, click on my link and buy a property? Like, is that why they were doing that? Or this was just out of curiosity and they thought you were a nice guy and clicked and bought that way?
The thing is, when you think about like on a conversion rate basis, right? If you have 20,000 visitors with a 1% conversion, that's like, I think that's, oh man, I hope I'm not wrong on the math.
200.
But like 200, 200. Like 200, right? So we had 40 people sign up maybe, right? So 40 out of 100, that's maybe a quarter of 1%. So it's not like you're selling a t-shirt where it's such a common product that someone might buy if they like you or something. It's definitely a lower conversion, but the video, basically the content in the video is just me talking about that property, about a property that we have. So I was like 0.25 acres in Valencia County, New Mexico, for, whatever, $50 a month or $100 a month or $1,200 outright or something like that. And it was just a very catchy video. So people started like commenting on it, and it just really helped the algorithm. And then we were able to find 40 buyers out of all those views.
I think it's worth pointing out here, Peter's got a theme of removing friction. So you think of all those folks, you click on a link, and Peter, why don't you walk us through like how easy is it to purchase a property or put down a down payment, and walk us through, what those down payments are and what that process is for your user experience, and let everybody understand why it's so easy to work with Once Upon a Brick.
Yeah, basically someone lands on our homepage, and within 4 clicks, they'll be at the checkout page. So they click on view all properties or something like that, and then they select which property they want, click buy now, and then they select if they want to be on the payment plan or if they want to pay it off outright. And then they just put in their credit card and they can buy it.
That's incredible. And how low can they start with down payments?
When we started, it was a lot less because our acquisition cost was very low. But now I think it's at like starting at around $100 or like $100. So they just put down $100 and they own property.
Yeah.
How'd you build this website? Was this like a WordPress theme, or did some service do this for you?
No, I actually built it myself when I started on Shopify.
And this is onceuponabrick.com, in case you didn't already catch that.
Yep, onceuponabrick.com.
I'm seeing in this listing here, it looks like you got featured in Business Insider, Associated. Yeah. How did that work?
I actually just hired a PR company. And, and they did it for us.
They somehow got you featured in these places?
And anyone can do that. You just type in like as seen in services or as seen on services on Google. Yeah, and you can slap those logos everywhere.
Does this service like send you some verified link? Like, look at this page where there's a link to your site, or you're mentioned here in some way. Like, does it have to be verified somehow, or?
Yeah, they sent me like a spreadsheet of all the links and stuff. It's basically a press release, right? And then they give you that link so you can link it up on your website pretty much.
Yeah, well, now you can put REtipster in there, and that'll
Wonderful.
Yeah, right.
Just put that in bold above all the other logos, because that's the one that matters the most.
It's going to be the first one, Seth.
Yeah, I mean, who's heard of
Sweet
Business Insider, right?
Nobody.
I know earlier I was just pointing out, so again, with Peter, done a great job of removing friction, right? Example one was just website, 4 clicks. He's almost as good as Jeff Bezos. He's coming for him. Another place, though, is just this marketplace that we talked about, right? I mean, the reason people are okay taking these small margins is because Peter makes it effortless for all these buyers and sellers that he's worked with to effectively be like, hey, here are your margins, here's what I'll pay. Bada bing, bada boom, and there's speed involved. And so he's able to provide such a value that is so unique to what I've seen in the land investing space, that he's just done a really good job of removing friction with all of the parties he works with. Going
through your checkout right now on one of your properties, looks like you can either choose to own it on terms or just pay the full price. And if I pay the full price, next page is a little form where I can fill out the name I want on the deed and the tax address. I haven't clicked next yet, but it looks, I'm assuming the next one is...
Your credit card.
Yeah, get your credit card out, Seth.
So, yeah, I know Shopify is a big deal for like e-commerce platforms. I haven't used it, but I hear people talk about it all the time. I haven't seen somebody using it for selling land. In terms of like handling credit card payments or however they can pay. Can they pay by ACH too, or something like that? Or just credit card?
We could do ACH, but like 90% of retail customers just put in their credit or debit card.
And is that happening through MoonClerk? Because I see a MoonClerk logo here too.
It does, yep.
Like, I'm just trying to visualize this. So, like, what does Shopify do and what does MoonClerk do? Like, why do you need Shopify instead of just using MoonClerk?
You're right, Seth. Not a lot of real estate or land people use Shopify. And there are much better websites and like tools and whatever out there that are specifically for land companies and land investors, and it might actually work better. The reason is I did the website myself, and Shopify was a platform that I was comfortable with because I've built websites on there in the past. So I just figured out, how can I create a land website on Shopify? So and right now, I really don't want to mess around with changing that or transitioning to something like WordPress, Carrot. There's so many other there's better ones, but it's just the cost for us to move now from Shopify to something else is very, very, very hard. So we've just stuck with it and tried to make it better.
Okay. So Shopify is the website, and then MoonClerk, that's like when you're filling out the form to make the payment. that's where MoonClick is, right?
That's the payment gateway.
Any other services involved with that? I know being able to accept credit card payments is like something a lot of people want to do, but there's not like a good, right, easy way to do it without like risking getting everything shut down. You're not supposed to do that. But it doesn't sound like that's ever been an issue with you, right?
Sometimes, but so far it's been good. It depends. Like, so there are like the major services sometimes don't allow you, but I just had an old Stripe account and they've never given us an issue.
So aside from Shopify and MoonClerk, are there any like specific tools or resources that you found particularly helpful in this business? I know there's no shortage of, services and software and websites out there. Is there like maybe 1 to 3 things that like you just cannot do without? Like it would be terrible if you lost these things. Like what do you rely on the most?
Google Sheets. So I think that yeah. So Google Sheets is very, very important for our business. Of course, our email marketing and which is Klaviyo, very, very important. And then Follow Up Boss, which is our CRM, which was a complete game changer because now we were able to separate a list of our retail customers and our wholesale customers and all their information's in there. When someone makes a call, it's logged. So having a really solid CRM. I mean, I've tried things, other big services, but Follow Up Boss has so far been my favorite.
Peter, I know you are somebody who has leveraged, this isn't exactly a tool, but you've leveraged Fiverr pretty extensively. Can you share with everyone what kinds of things you've used it for, what you use it for regularly, and how it's helped you grow and scale your business?
Absolutely. So hiring. So we just hired a new marketing person today, which I found on Fiverr. Fiverr is basically, it's a great source for you to find, like, for example, we were just talking about Shopify. There's probably 50 people on there who are just wonderful at building you a website that you can hire and pay them per job or per gig. And it's super easy. Like and the reason why they've just become incredibly successful also is, again, it's that 3-4 click thing, right? Where you can go on there, find someone that will say, I'll build you a website, and you just click 2 buttons, you pay them, and they're technically hired for that gig. So you can hire them to make your postcards that you're sending for direct mail, your websites. You can do a lot of things on there. So I've used them mostly for graphic design work and marketing related.
Both the things you said there, Google Sheets, it's something that's like, it's such a commonplace thing. I don't think about how nice it is, but like, it is really nice.
Right.
Like I rely on it too. It'd be a huge problem if that disappeared overnight. And Fiverr too. Like I've used Fiverr a ton over the years for all kinds of random things. And sometimes I've referred to it as like the Walmart of online outsourcing. Like it's pretty cheap, and sometimes that's indicative of value, but not always. There's like really good value to be found there. But sometimes just hearing you talk, like I feel like I'm almost underutilizing it. Like there's a lot more I could be finding there. And they do make it super simple to find like pretty good talent sometimes. And even if it like bombs, it's like, okay, well, that was like $100, not a big deal, depending on what the project is. Oh, you're still here. Well, hey, this is the end screen, and there's a lot of cool stuff here in this channel. You could watch something like this over here, or you could also watch something like this over here. This is really neat too. I hope I'll see you again soon. Be sure to leave a like if you haven't already. And if you want to, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and you can see more videos like this. Thanks again for watching. Talk to you next time.